Welcome, grade 7 learners. Congratulations for accomplishing Module 1 and Module 2 of our music lesson for the first quarter. This time, we will be having Module 3, and it's all about the musical instruments from the lowlands of Luzon. Let's have a pre-test before we move on. So the direction is read and analyze each item. Choose the letter of the best answer that corresponds to what is being asked. Don't worry, this is not graded. So I hope you prepare a pen and paper. So just answer what you know, okay? Number 1. What is a fretted musical instrument with 6 strings played with both hands? A. Bandurria. B. Bajo de Onyas. C. Guitar. D. Laud. 2. What do you call this instrument made of bamboo rattle tubes attached to a bamboo frame? A. Angklong. B. Kalatok. C. Kiskis. D. Tulali. 3. What is this instrument that produces sounds thinner than the flute? A. Clarinet. B. Piccolo. C. Tenor saxophone. D. Trumpet. 4. What do you call an ensemble of black or stringed instruments and sometimes with percussions too? A. Angklong ensemble. B. Brass band. C. Musikong bungbong. D. Rondalia. 5. What do you call an ensemble of woodwinds, brass, and percussion instruments? A. Angklong ensemble. B. Brass band. C. Musikong bungbong. D. Rondalia. I hope you are done with your answers. Now, you may check your own paper. So here is the answer key for the 5 items. So you may check your own paper. For number 1, it's C, 2, A, 3, B, 4, D, and 5, B. Don't you worry if you were not able to get a perfect score, but I hope after our discussion, you may be able to get a perfect score. Before we proceed, please look at the picture. Are you familiar with the different musical instruments? What are the instruments that you see in the picture? Maaaring may magsabi sa inyo na mayroon siyang nakikitang gitara. Tama. Paano naman yung tatlo? What is common among the instruments? Do you see more than one instruments in the picture? Those are called Rondalia instruments. Rondalia is an ensemble of black or string instruments played with a plectrum or pick and sometimes with percussions too. When you say ensemble class, it refers to group of performers performing or playing together. Where did Rondalia instruments came from? It originated in medieval Spain, especially in Castile, Catalonia, Aragon, Murcia, and Valencia. The tradition was later taken to Spain, America, and the Philippines. In the early times of our country, certain styles were adopted by the natives, especially guitar and bandurria, used in the pandango, polka, and among others as accompaniment. So those instruments of the Rondalia ensemble were adopted by the natives. As we all know, we were once a colony of Spain. So this is the Rondalia seating arrangement. Whenever they are going to play, this will be the position of each players. As you can see on the picture, the basses are placed behind, aligned with the guitar and the percussions, yung mga drums, snares, tsaka cymbals. And then, on the front, we have the bandurria 2, bandurria 1, the lauds, and the octavinas. Let us explore more about the different instruments. So here, as you can see, the bandurria, the laud, and the octavina. So what is a bandurria? A bandurria is a 14-stringed pear-shaped lute with a round sound hole and played with a plectrum. So what is the function of the bandurria in the ensemble? It plays the melody in the Rondalia ensemble. Next we have laud. Laud is a 14-stringed pear-shaped lute with F-shaped sound hole. So this is the F-shaped sound hole and played with a plectrum or the pick. Yung alam nyo naman siguro yon, yung pick ng gitara. It is bigger than the bandurria. So what is the function of the laud in the ensemble? It plays the alto part or the counter melody in the Rondalia ensemble. So later I will show you the alto part of the laud. And then the octavina. It is also a 14-string lute which is shaped like a small guitar and played with a plectrum. So what is the function of the octavina? It plays a counter melody or harmony fill-in in the Rondalia ensemble. Another set of musical instruments in the Rondalia ensemble, we have the guitar. Guitar is one of the most popular instruments of the Rondalia. It is a fretted musical instruments having 6 strings. Alam naman natin yan. It is typically played with both hands and by strumming or plucking the strings with either a guitar pick or fingernails of one hand, while simultaneously fretting or pressing the string against the frets with the fingers of the other hand. The function of the guitar is it plays the accompaniment of the song. It gives the rhythm. Okay? Next we have bajo de oñas. It is a bass-like guitar which looks like a big guitar and is played by a plectrum. It plays the bass part that serves as a rhythmic support. And then the last we have the double bass. Double bass, or simply the bass, it is the largest and lowest pitch string instrument in the modern symphony orchestra. The function of the double bass, it plays the bass of the Rondalia ensemble. Let's listen to a sample music played by a Rondalia ensemble. The title is Pulkasanayon. So as I've said, the bandurria plays the melody. So ano ba yung melody? We have already discussed the melody. So the melody is the main flow of the music. Ito yung tono ng kanta. So kung halimbawa, ito yung tono ng kanta natin, Yan yung melody. Now, kung halimbawa ang melody ay tutugtugin ng bandurya, kaya lang wala tayong bandurya dito sa example natin. So, may ginawa akong example na so for example, this line, this first staff will be the melody and will be played by the bandurya. Unfortunately, wala tayong sample ng bandurya dito. Pero gusto ko lang ipakita na pag pinagsabay-sabay mo yung mga instrumento ng rondalya, ganito yung magiging itsura niya sa musical score. So, for example, this part will be played by the bandurya. And then the second line will be played by the alto, which is the laud. So, yung laud natin, ito naman yung tono niya. Kumbaga siya yung second voice. Okay, let's play them both, the first staff and the second staff. Okay, so the third staff will be played by the octavina. Okay, inuulit ko lang wala tayong sample ng sound dito ng bandurya, ng laud at saka ng octavina. Ang ginawa ko puro iba-ibang klase ng gitara muna ito. Para lang maipakita ko kung paano ba nagpi-play ang rondalya. So, etong pangatlo, ito halimbawa yung octavina natin. Yan. So, the octavina plays the counter melody. Parang melody din siya pero may sarili siyang flow ng melody. And the fourth staff, for example, will be the guitar. Okay? Yan. So, yun yung guitar natin. At yung panghuli naman will be the bass. Okay? So, play natin lahat. Pakinggan nyo kung nag-play na sila ng sabay-sabay. Sayang lang at wala tayong mga sample instrument para sa rondalya, sa bandurya, sa laud, sa octavina. Sa guitar at saka bass lang ang meron ako. Etong tatlo sana ay ipi-play nung tatlong tinutukoy kong instrumento. Okay? Play natin. Okay. So that is the song Santa Clara. So before we move on with the next family of instruments, so let's try to answer the question. What is common among the different rondalya instruments? Ano ang napansin nyo sa mga rondalya instruments? Okay? They all have strings. Very good. Before we continue with the next family of musical instruments, I want you to listen to this music and name at least 3 musical instruments that you know. Okay? So ano-ano ba ang mga musical instruments na narinig ninyo? May narinig ba kayong trumpet? O hindi nyo pa alam kung ano-ano ang ibang katawagan sa mga instrumentong yaon? The title of that song is called Santa Clara, and it was played by several musical instruments. What family of instrument is it called? Those instruments belong to the brass band instruments. The brass band is an ensemble of woodwind, brass, and percussion instruments. Ito ay isang uri ng ensemble, okay, na binubuo ng mga woodwind, brass, at ng percussion. So, ang brass band ay binubuo ng tatlong grupo. Okay? Ito ay tinatawag nating woodwinds, brass, and percussions. Isa-isahin natin itong mga instrumento under woodwinds, brass, and percussions. Where do we usually see this brass band? In the Philippines, they are usually played in fiestas, religious, and civic celebrations. Its repertoire or list of songs may include folk songs, popular music, and dance music, among others. A parading brass band is called a marching band. At present, provinces like Rizal and Laguna and schools like the Philippine Military Academy are home of prominent brass bands in the Philippines. As I've said earlier in this video, we're going to explore the different subgroups under brass band. The first subgroup is the woodwind instruments. Here, the first instrument under woodwinds is called piccolo. It is shorter than the flute, the sound it produces is thinner than the flute, and it plays the highest notes of all the woodwinds. Let us listen to the sound of the piccolo. The second instrument under woodwinds is called clarinet. It has a single reed mouthpiece. It is a straight cylindrical tube with cylindrical bore and a flared bell. It takes on both solo roles and middle register of the woodwind part. Let us listen to the sound of the clarinet. The second subgroup under brass band are called brass instruments. The first instrument is the trumpet. The trumpet has the highest register in the brass family. It is played by blowing air through almost closed lips, producing a buzzing sound that starts a standing wave vibration in the air column inside the instrument. It provides the melodic lines of an ensemble. Let us listen to the sound of the trumpet. The second instrument under brass is called alto saxophone. It is commonly used in classical music concert bands, chamber music, and solo repertoire, military bands, marching bands, and jazz chants. Let us listen to the sound of the alto saxophone. The third instrument is the tenor saxophone. It is a medium-sized member of the saxophone family and the most common one. It uses a large mouthpiece, reed, and ligature than the alto and soprano saxophones. It is usually distinguished by the bend of its neck or its crook near the mouthpiece. It forms a bridge between the woodwind and the brass section of the orchestra. Let us listen to the sound of the tenor saxophone. Next we have the flute. It is an aerophone or wind instrument that produces its sound from the flow of air across an opening. The sound it produces is thin in timbre. It often plays the melody and the interventions are always heard because of its specific timbre. Let us listen to the sound of the flute. Next instrument is the trombone. The name means large trumpet. The sound it produces when the player's vibrating lips cause the instrument to vibrate. The pitch is produced by sliding the bulb. It plays the contratenor part of the band. Let's listen to the sound of the trombone. Next we have French horn. It is commonly known as the horn, a brass instrument made of tubing wrapped into a coil with S-flared bell. Quality of the sound may also be controlled through the adjustment of the lip tension in the mouthpiece and the operation of the bulbs by the left hand. It plays both melody and harmony as well as rhythm. Let us listen to the sound of the French horn. And the last instrument under brass is called sousaphone. It is a type of tuba designed to be easier than the concert tuba to play while standing or marching. It is widely employed in the marching bands and various other musical genres. The bell is above the tuba's head and projecting forward. It plays the bass part of the band. Let us listen to the sound of the tuba. The third family or subgroup in the brass band is called percussion instruments. There are three basic percussion instruments in the brass band. First, we have the cymbals. It consists of thin, normally round plates of various alloys. It is used in many ensembles, jazz bands, heavy metal bands, and marching groups. It is used to accentuate musical climaxes. Second is the snare drum. It is known as a side drum, and it is an ever-present percussion instrument known for its cylindrical shape and powerful staccato sound. It is played with drumsticks or brush. It is used in orchestras, concert bands, marching bands, parades, drum lines, and drum corps. The last instrument under percussion is the bass drum. It produces a note of low definite and indefinite pitch. It is a popular percussion instrument that varies in sizes. Its purpose is to convey complex rhythmic and melodic content as well as to keep the beat. Let us listen to the sound of the bass. So this is the bass, and this one is the snare. Okay, so this one is the cymbals, and the cymbals varies in sizes. So this is a drum set. Yung mga nakikita ninyo sa brass band ay mga marching percussions. So this is the bass, snare, and cymbals. Let's move on with the last family of instruments. This time, we have the bamboo instruments. The angklong plays the counterpoints to the melody. The bongbong tubes serves as the orchestra's wind section. hinihihipan ito. Ito naman inaalog. Then we have the kalatok. It is a percussion instrument that is made of pieces of bamboo with varying tones when struck by a rubber mallets. Okay? It performs the function of a percussion instrument. And then we have the talunggating, a bamboo marimba. Kung familiar kayo sa lyre, parang ganon ang trabaho ng talunggating. It plays the melody. And then we have the kalagong. It is a percussion instrument that produces a hollow gong-like sound. It is played by tapping the top holes of the bamboos by two flat and flexible surface tappers. Okay, it serves as the base of the group. Then we have panpipes. It is made of small pieces of bamboo in graduated small tubes that has been put together by a string. It creates the melody of the ensemble. And then we have the tulali. Tulali or the bamboo flute. It is made of baga, one of the smallest bamboo varieties. It often plays the melody. And then last we have the kiskis. It is a bamboo piece with ridges and serves as a percussion instrument. Kiskis means to scratch or to rub against something. It is played by rubbing a rattan sticks on each ridges. It performs the role of a percussion instruments. Okay. So those are the different families of instruments found in Luzon. I hope to see you in our next lesson. Thank you for watching.